Oh yeah, Diddy got a podcast.
Boom.
All right. So 2 last questions as it relates to that book, because I think you touched on a lot of important topics before you go. And I think I'll be doing my listeners a disservice. I have a lot of women who listen to the podcast.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do the women a disservice because I know they're going to be interested. And I'm pretty sure they're going to purchase your book. But for those who are listening right now and would like just a little bit of insight, not on your situation, but I would like to ask you, what is Drekkia's definition of toxic? And I'm sure you probably touched on this in your book, but what is Drekkia's advice to anyone in toxic relationships?
Mm-hmm. So my definition of toxic is basically, being in, when it comes to romantic relationships, what I identify as toxic is being in a physically, mentally, spiritually, or even sexually abusive relationship. Toxic is, being in a space or having a partner that literally impedes on your ability to function and be happy. Someone who, makes you feel not the greatest about yourself or is very manipulative. Someone who's toxic, who does not know how to communicate appropriately. And it's just, toxic is anything that just does not serve us in a beneficial way. I think a lot of times people, our views of love, it comes from, how we're raised. So a lot of people perceive physical abuse as love. And that's because that's what they grew up seeing. So that's a reality for them. And I grew up seeing that. But I always remember telling myself, I would never be in something like that. That's not love. That's disgusting. Why'd you put your hands on somebody? That's gross. But it still ended up in that space. So once I realized that does not have to be a reality for me, and that I don't have to hold on to something that does not serve me, that was physically making me, I feel dead. When I say I feel like the walking dead, I feel like nothing around me was real for a long time. Till I left that relationship and I started doing counseling. I slowly came back into the real world. Now I feel like I'm here, but that relationship really took a lot out of me. And when I convinced myself this is not the way love's supposed to exist and I don't have to stay here, when I really made myself believe that, when I stepped out on faith and left a relationship with what I had on my back and had to start from the bottom, I was committed to having something greater and better, because I know I'm worthy now, and you're not going to ever convince me differently. So my advice to anybody dealing with a toxic relationship is the fact that you need to understand that you're valuable, you're worthy, and there's love out here that exists in a beautiful way. One that you don't have to worry about, being physically abused, mentally abused, verbally abused, because that's not love. That is not love, and it's definitely not the truth for me anymore. So anybody dealing with a situation like that, you need to understand that the power is in your hand to move forward and be happy, and understand that there's so many other people out here in the world that you can have access to, whoever you may be with that's not serving you in the most beneficial way. You can let that go and you can have better. You just have to believe it and go get it.
Thank you so much.